this is why I'm happy for Zach Wilson. What's going on, guys? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today, I want to get into why I am happy for Zach Wilson. Make sure to follow along with us on social media at Matt O'Leary and why. Also, if you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast. So, Zach Wilson is no longer the New York Jets starting quarterback. He lost his job last year, really struggled, especially down the stretch. It did not end. 2022 did not end in Zach Wilson's favor. So why am I happy for Zach Wilson after he's had this little bit of a tough run? Well, so far through OTAs, yes, it's only the first week, and yes, it's May practice, Zach Wilson's looked good. And again, I want to reiterate, shorts and a helmet is very, very different from live bullets on Sunday. No, I'm not going to sit here and tell you otherwise. That would be silly if I did. But I would significantly rather good news be coming out now than bad news about Zach Wilson in May, because you just know, number one, you just know that media would run with it if Zach Wilson was like, I don't know, 1 for 7 or 2 for 10 or whatever, some like ridiculous, like a 40% completion percentage, a couple of picks or whatever in minicamp. And I know like stats from 7-on-7 drills shouldn't matter. Unfortunately, sometimes they get a little blown out of proportion, but Zach Wilson seems more confident in himself. He obviously had a good practice the other day. Robert Saleh mentioned him by name as someone who had a good practice on Monday. Then on Tuesday, the second day of OTAs, Zach Wilson goes off in 7-on-7. He comes off, high fives Nathaniel Hackett, the new offensive coordinator, and he's smiling, which is good. And again, he doesn't really have that pressure on him right now. He knows the drill. Aaron Rodgers is here and is going to be the starting quarterback. Now, at this point, until Rodgers is not here, Zach Wilson will be quarterback 2 or quarterback 3. And if he continues to grow and get better, that's only a good thing for the New York Jets. And even if you want to trade him, even if you don't want Zach Wilson on the team anymore, I understand the frustration with him. I get it. And if you want him gone, sure. Okay. But him playing well only elevates his value, right? Like if this carries over into training camp and this carries over into the preseason and there's a quarterback needy team, Arizona jumps out right now. If there's an injury somewhere, maybe a GM would offer a draft pick to Joe Douglas. What that pick is, Lord knows. But we've seen guys who you didn't expect to get traded. Blake Cashman, the Jets got something in return for him. The Jets got a much better return for Sam Darnold than I think a lot of people anticipated. So for something like that, even if you want him gone, Zach continuing his development behind the scenes and improving is only a good thing. And if you're under the impression that Zach can turn it around, this kind of just feeds into that narrative, right? That if he sits behind Aaron Rodgers and learns, that he would benefit from it. And, I've kind of maintained that I think whether it's here or somewhere else, down the line, the best chance for Zach Wilson to get his career turned around is by sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, someone who he idolizes. I mean, that was the guy that he idolized growing up. And there were similarities to their game, not in obviously success, but in how they play the game. Both are similar. Big arm, can extend plays with their legs, a little bit of a gunslinger in them. Obviously, Aaron's potential was reached and then some. Zach's was not, at least not yet. And he has a long way to go to get back to that point. But I want to hear the positive stories coming out about Zach. He went through a lot last year. Obviously wasn't good. And again, this is not me now declaring Zach Wilson, saved by any stretch of the imagination. I think if you're doing that at this point, you are way ahead of your, way over your skis, way out there, just not something that I think is realistic or where you should be right now mentally on Zach. But it's only a good thing for him getting better. And I hope he continues to play well and get that confidence back, because I think one thing we could all admit, whether you like Zach or not, the talent was always there. It was just mental for him. And if the mental thing gets figured out a little bit, or if he even just improves slightly, that's a good thing. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Matt O'Leary. Catch you next time.